Just give me the bracelet and I promise I'll give you the repair pill. He'd had enough of this standoff. Well, even if it can't be destroyed, how do you know I won't run down to the beach and toss it in Lake Michigan? Or maybe I'll just leave Chicago and you'll never see it again. Mackenzie persisted. There was no way she was going to let Kevin win. Please don't mess around, Mackenzie. Kevin was so frustrated he was going nuts. Penny looked over at Brenda, but her friend didn't understand what Mackenzie was about to do. But Penny knew that Mackenzie could be very stubborn and incredibly unreasonable. Well, why should I give the bracelet to you? Remember when you said I'd have to beg you for the repair pill? Mackenzie got a really snotty look on her face and said, I'll tell you what, you're going to have to beg me. What did you say? Kevin clenched his fists and took a deep breath. He was really about to lose his mind. Mackenzie, you're going too far. Brenda couldn't believe what she was doing. Penny was getting upset with her friend too. For one thing, if Kevin really is a master herbalist, he may get revenge on her in the future. And not even Mackenzie's grandfather would be able to help her. Well, are you going to do it or not? If you don't beg me right now, I'm heading for the door, Mackenzie said with a sneer. Mackenzie, you have to stop this. I need that bracelet. Kevin's face was almost purple with rage. What's the matter with you? Can't you take a little teasing? Mackenzie stuck her tongue out at Kevin like they were a couple of school kids on the playground. Suddenly, Kevin pulled out the infinity pendant that the Night King had given him and announced, If you're not willing to help, maybe this can convince you. Penny and the others looked at him with some doubt in their eyes. They all knew enough to see that it was a very high-quality piece of jewelry, probably made by a master jeweler. But what was it for? But Mackenzie was the one who was the most shocked. Her face turned pale and she took a few steps back. Her eyes grew wide and she seemed a little afraid. The other women didn't know the meaning of the pendant. Did she? The myriads had a strict hierarchy. Of course, there was a leader in the highest position. There were also deputies, messengers, and other people in respected positions. It was similar to the structure in the Alliance. Mackenzie's grandfather was one of the 12 messengers, and the infinity pendant Kevin took out was the symbol of the deputy leader. I can't believe you're the deputy leader. Mackenzie suddenly got very polite and looked down at the floor. Anyone who belonged to the myriads knew that you had to be very respectful toward anyone who was in possession of the symbol that Kevin was showing them. Penny and the others were shocked. They all got up from the sofa and stood there quietly. They didn't even dare to breathe. All of them were obviously members of the myriads. Now Mackenzie was petrified because of all the trouble she'd given Kevin in the past. She could feel the blood run out of her face and she felt a little dizzy. But Kevin also felt a little puzzled by this. Wasn't the Night King a member of the Alliance? How did he also become the deputy leader of the myriads? On top of that, he clearly remembered that Brett Stewart had told him that the symbol of the myriads deputy was made of platinum. But Kevin knew jewelry, and he was certain that this one was made of palladium. He wasn't sure if he'd misunderstood what Stewart had told him. But the symbol was the same as the one on his ID card for Infinitude Pharmaceuticals, the business the myriads used as a front. It seems that my mentor has a lot of secrets. I'm going to have a long talk with him the next time I see him, Kevin said to himself. I'm sorry I insulted you, Deputy. I had no idea who you were. Please, forgive me. I promise I'll never do it again. Mackenzie was sure to be extremely polite and sweet now. Kevin hadn't said anything to them, so the women didn't know what to do. They were part of the elite of Chicago, but in the myriads they hardly had any rank at all. Whether Kevin was a member of the myriads or not, the only thing that mattered was he was showing them the symbol of a rank that was much higher than theirs. Now can you give me the bracelet? Kevin asked her flatly. Mackenzie walked over to Kevin and calmly handed him the bracelet that he needed. He didn't want to waste another second. He took the bracelet and practically ran out of the shop. When Kevin was gone, Mackenzie took a long, deep breath. Penny and her other friends stood there in silence. Wasn't Kevin just a freeloader? How did he get to be such a high rank in the myriads? Mackenzie, are you sure he had the infinity pendant? Penny asked her hesitantly. I'm sure, I'm not mistaken. I've seen that same symbol on all the myriad's high-level buildings. But my grandfather once told me that there's one exception. Mackenzie explained as fear started to creep over her. You mean the man nobody's seen for decades? Brenda asked in shock. Her father also had a high rank in the organization, so she knew a little about these things. When Kevin returned to the Steele family's home, the Night King quickly took the bracelet so he could use it to cure Dalton's injuries. More than 2 hours later, the Night King finally came into the great room and told Kevin that Dalton would be okay. But he had some business to attend to, so he had to get going. I knew I could count on you to help Dalton, Norman Steele said with a sigh. He knew that it would be tough to deal with the Sutherland family, so he figured Kevin had paid a colossal sum for the golden water gemstone. Grandpa, how can you say a thing like that? My cousin was injured because of this. I don't see how this can make up for it. Rain looked at Kevin with utter disdain. The more she looked at him, the more contemptuous she felt. Kevin didn't pay any attention to Rain and turned to Norman. I wouldn't do anything less. As far as I'm concerned, Dalton's my brother. Kevin, our home is your home. Stay with us for as long as you like. Norman was very happy to have Kevin staying with them. Now, it was a waiting game. They had no idea when Dalton would finally open his eyes again. By 1 a.m, Rain and Blanca were starting to worry about staying up all night. They were exhausted and asked their grandfather if they could go to their rooms and get some rest. Norman had a strong constitution, but he was getting on in years. By 3 a.m, he needed to go get some rest too. Miranda, if you also want to get some sleep, I'll stay here and let you know when Dalton wakes up, Kevin said softly. Well, thank you so much, Miranda sighed. To tell the truth, she didn't really believe that Kevin's mentor would be able to save her husband. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Kevin was starting to get irritable. He kept thinking about what had happened in the hospital. He stepped out for just a minute to get some coffee, but when he got back to Dalton's room, he saw the door slowly opening. As he looked in astonishment at the large figure coming out, Kevin rubbed his eyes, unsure if he was dreaming. He couldn't believe it was actually Dalton.
Kevin, what the heck are you doing here?
Dalton grinned broadly. You scared me to death, buddy. Kevin gave Dalton a big hug as his eyes started to well up with tears.
I'm okay. No need to cry, man.
Dalton patted Kevin on the back several times. Kevin's tears started to turn to laughter when he realized his best friend was going to be okay.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.